There are, of course, numerous aspects, qualities of leadership which were observed and seen and confessed by others in the Prophet Muhammad. In the earlier times, before the revelation, when Kaaba was demolished, had fallen, there was a dispute among the clans that who should lay the foundation stone again. Now then, here the Prophet Muhammad, he consolidated with them that put the stone in the piece of sheep and then every clan can hold and then place it in position. Now this was a manifestation of a general leadership of the Prophet Muhammad. Then he was declared Al-Amin, the truthful one, which indicates his dealing with the people in an honest and truthful way, which culminated for this title from the people to be bestowed on. As-Sadiq, he was given the title of the truthful, and Al-Amin as a trustworthy. So the people in Makkah would keep their important belongings as a security with the Prophet Muhammad. So these were the elements of his leadership prior to declaration. Then from the point of declaration, numerous qualities emerged. One of the very first one was that he gathered all the people near the hill of Safa and addressed them. And one of the important things which he mentioned to them was, Qulu la ilaha illallah, say there is none to worship but God, and you will be successful. Liberation of people from multiple gods and their own multiple rules, to bring them under one divine law and monotheistic faith of submission to one God. This was a universal and major declaration and major event of coming into the field of open leadership by the Prophet Muhammad. Then, of course, one thing after another, his visit to the Taif, although negatively responded, but his leadership was there, calling those clans to the monotheistic faith of Islam. Eventual decision by the Prophet to leave Makkah, a sign and indication of leadership, and those who did. Arrival in Medina, construction of the place of worship, the mosque. People in Medina rallying for celebration and looking towards the arrival of the messenger. And the girls singing the songs of the welcome to the messenger of God. These were the signs. Then, of course, the plantation of the trees of the welfare of the side of the people, sending letters to the other leaders of the world to look towards the faith of Islam was a major sign of communication and, of course, establishment of the relationship with other states and faiths.
And the final messages that were given
by the Prophet.
His final messages.
His final message given by the Prophet on Friday in Makkah, the field of Arafat, and also he spoke to mankind in a very different way, a long message. But the essence of the message was that Arab have no priority over non-Arab, and non-Arab don't have any priority on Arab. White have no priority over black, and black have no priority over white. The one nearest to God is Inna Akramakum Indallah Atqakum, the one who's most fearful of God, or the most righteous. So he introduced a universal measure that commanded by God, that mankind is from one man and one woman, and they are made into tribes and nations, and from them the most honorable in the sight of God is the one who is most righteous. A measure of knowledge and measure of principles, a measure in total the merits of a man, which will be a thing through which people should look at that other person, and that would be a measure of leadership in the future and leadership of respect and honor.
Can you now discuss the path of leadership adopted by his followers, the Khalifa to Rashidin?
That is very important, because Khulafa Rashidin not only carried the flag, defended the teaching of the Prophet and this universal message, but they also made sure that he reached the far corners of the earth. Abu Bakr Raziallah Ta'ala anhu, the first Caliph, he united the Arabia under the flag of one monotheistic religion and established the state of Medina, which was already established by the Prophet, but he enforced it. And during his time of this Baitul Mal became stronger. So the first Caliph secured the borders and initiated some actions against those who were violating the borders of Islam. The second Caliph also developed further and strengthened the teaching of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. And Umar united the Ummah on the reading of the Quran during the month of Ramadan in Torah. Abu Bakr also collected and formulated and made sure the safety of the Quran for the nation, which also guaranteed by Almighty that if humans fail, Allah protects divinely. Then the Usman Ghani, Hazrat Ali. So the span of the Raziallah Ta'ala, the Khulafa Rashidin was 30 years. The Prophet merely had a time to establish the state in a linear form of establishment. So this now extended another 30 years of ruling by the Khulafa Rashidin, and that had now given a total of 53 years, over than a half century, to strengthen the pillars of Islam introduced by the Holy Prophet Muhammad and reinforced by the Prophet and his followers.
Next issue, of course, is how is it possible, or would it be possible, of developing a system suitable for Muslim countries and keeping within this framework?